Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I'm one host, Anthony Carboni, and to my left over here is Justin Velche. Justin, how we doing today, bro? It's
Good, bro.
Friday.
I know. Big Friday. Everything good. Leafs winning. Hockey's going crazy. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. So today's episode, we're gonna talk about the wild card race because it's just getting insane with the way the wild card is going right now in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So, I mean, we can start off by talking about that Leafs win yesterday, though. First things first. What did you think of the game? I mean, it was a complete yard sale of a game in the third period when three Flyer sticks broke. So I'm there like, what's going on there? Because I see from the score they say a yard sale's going on. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I see the Flyers sticks just tossed all over the ice, and the Leafs just put a pummeling on the Philadelphia Flyers. So
Yeah.
what did you think of that game? Because I
I mean,
thought, I
I
mean,
think
the Leafs they just outplayed them.
I think the Flyers need to get humbled at some point. Like, okay, first of all, the Flyers are not this good to be in a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it could also been like Tortorella not being on the bench. I think that could have been a reason because like when Tortorella's on the bench, they
We
played good
love
hockey.
Torts. We
Yeah,
love Torts.
but like Torch wasn't there. The team just got absolutely shelled. But like I don't know, like the Leafs played well. They got off to a quick start, got off to a 3-0 lead. A goal got taken back from Bertuzzi because of a hand pass, which that really wasn't a hand pass. It just hit his hand, but whatever. But then they scored, Liljegren scored again to make it 3-0. And the first, and then Tippett scored in early in the second period. I'm like, okay, here we go again to make it 3-1. But other than that, though, like the Leafs settled in pretty well after that goal, and they just kept rolling. Like they kept
Matthews
scoring.
with his 55th, right? So
Yeah.
Matthews is getting
Seven
there.
goals or no?
He's 15 away. How many games does he have left? 19, 18, right? He's got
Uh,
like
I think they're at, I want to say, yeah, 18 games left. So
so
it's like,
he's got 18 games to get 15 goals to get 70. Do you think he hits it?
um, honestly, because
No.
he's my guy. I think so. You know, because I'm
No.
biased. Because I'm biased.
I don't Here's the thing. I feel like the fact that Marner's out, he might be out for
Yeah.
longer. It's gonna not make him score as much because
Yeah.
Marner is his guy. He's his right hand man, literally. And the fact that he's got 18 games to score 15 goals, it's kind of hard. If he gets like two hat tricks, okay, that can
Yeah.
happen. They got a tough schedule. They got a bunch of the Eastern Conference teams. They got the
Yeah, they
Panthers.
got
They
the
got the
Canes on
like,
Saturday, which is huge. Frederick Anderson will probably
I know they
start.
play the Canes twice in the span
Yeah.
of these couple games. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Then they
just gonna
also
be
played
tough. It's
the Panthers. They played the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have to go to the Flyers again next week, which is weird. So I don't know. I mean,
weird scheduling, but I don't think he hits it. But
yeah,
like he'll get like 65, maybe he'll get 10. I don't know about 70. Plus he might rest too. They might rest him like two
true.
games before
It's really
for like two
unfortunate.
games just so he's fresh for the playoffs. So they could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the Leafs put an absolute beating on the Flyers. I mean, the Flyers, out of all the playoff teams that are in a playoff spot, they just look like the outlier. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't look they don't look like they're gonna do shit. Like they'll probably play the Carolina Hurricanes in the first
Yeah.
round,
Oh,
who are buzzing, by the way. I mean, what an absolute beating they put on the Panthers yesterday. Kudzi with his first goal as a
yeah.
Hurricane, doing the little eagle thing, like bro.
Yeah.
It was like and like they're not going to beat the Rangers nor they're going to beat the fucking Carolina Hurricanes. There's just no chance. The Flyers, it was nice to see them it's nice to see them in the playoffs. They probably will lose in 5. They'll win like one home game and then the Hurricanes will close it out in their barn. That's what I'd assume.
Yeah. It really shouldn't be a tough opponent for any team like the Rangers or the Hurricanes. Like, come on. Like, like the Flyers, the goaltending, like Urson, like, come on. Like, Urson, the best defenders, like, who Cam York, like, come on. And then like, sure, yeah, they have Tippett connecting like Tortorella guys, but again, no one's really scared of the Flyers. So if anyone plays the Flyers first
No,
round, that should be a cakewalk.
well, I mean, I'm looking at the so we're going to talk about the wild card shortly. They're 4 points ahead of the Islanders and 5 points ahead of the Capitals. Do you think the Capitals or the Islanders catch up to the Flyers and one of those teams takes that third Metro spot and they drop to a
Um,
wild? Or do you think they just hold off until
I mean,
the last game
yeah,
and
the
hold
way
on
the
to that
Islanders
spot?
are playing, Islanders, okay, Islanders just got shut out yesterday, but that's by a Sabres team who are kind of rolling right now and are picking up.
We're gonna get into that. But
Yeah,
do you really think
I don't know.
the Islanders or the Capitals could take that third Metro spot?
No, Capitals are done. Like, I'm sorry, the Capitals are just not gonna win.
They're
Um,
dude, they're 1 point
bro,
behind for the second wild card
bro, I
spot.
don't
They're in
care.
it.
Don't get hyped by the Caps, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
Well,
Don't.
let's see. Let's talk about the Capitals. Now they're on their Western Canadian road trip slash Seattle, right? So let's
Slash Seattle.
so they got shelled by the Jets 3-0. They lost to the Oilers on Wednesday, 7-2. Then they go into Seattle. They end up beating the Kraken 2-1. So they get a
Yeah.
win there. Their next two games, they go to Vancouver tomorrow.
Well,
And
yeah.
then Monday and then Calgary. And then they play the Leafs. So in the next four game at home. So if they can take either Vancouver or the Flames, I feel like they could squeak in there, bro. They're only a point back. And the way Detroit's playing, we're gonna talk about Detroit soon. But
Wow.
and how the Islanders are doing, bro, I'm telling you, they have a chance. Even though they were pretty much sellers at the deadline, they have a chance of making it. Personally, if I'm them, I'm not trying to make the playoffs because you want a good pick. You just traded a
Yeah.
good amount of guys. But bro, they're in it. They are 1 point back, and if they want, they might make it, bro. Like they
They're
could make it.
they're like the Nashville Predators of last year. Like, remember when the Predators were selling last year, and then they were like in the hunt for a playoff spot until like the second last game of the season, and they were in the mix. They
Yeah.
were selling, but they were in there. That's literally what the Capitals are this year. But I just don't think they're gonna make it. I just think the way the Islanders are playing, I think how the Sabres are rolling,
Dude,
and
it's really interesting looking at their goal differential. They're a minus 31 in the goal differential, bro. And they're somehow competing for a playoff spot.
yeah,
So it's just pretty interesting to see.
because
So
they
we
get
all
timely,
I mean, what's that?
it's because they get timely wins. Like they'll go on like a
Yeah.
losing streak, get like a huge win on that, like because they beat the Flyers a couple weeks ago. Like that was a huge win when they played in Washington. But they
Like the
play like
Seattle win, yeah, it's pretty big
yeah,
too, winning
like they
2-1.
get like these timely wins that like they need to win. But then they'll lose like the games, like they'll lose like the next two, and then be like, oh, okay, this is a game that we have to win. Okay, we'll go win this one. But I'm
So
not. Those are not gonna be.
we're looking in the Eastern Conference here. So it looks like Florida, Boston, Toronto, Rangers, Carolina, locks. They're
Yeah,
locks.
yeah,
Tampa Bay, I think they're locks too. I think
yeah.
they're lock. I think
Has to win yesterday.
they were a bit slow off to the start. They didn't have Vasilevsky playing. Now they get Duclair, they get Dumba, and they're rolling. They just beat the
Yeah,
Rangers 6-3
massive.
yesterday in a really big game. They came back. I think it was 3-2 in the third, and they ended up scoring 4 and taking the Rangers 6-3. So the Tampa Bay Lightning are humming right now. Braden Point had 6 points. He had a point on every single goal.
I know. Like what?
He had 3
Even
goals, 3
Cujo
assists on
had
the
like
6
five
goals.
points.
Yeah, bro. So Tampa Bay, I think they're gonna lock up that first wild card spot.
Yeah.
I don't see them overtaking the Leafs, but I think they're gonna lock up that first wild card spot. And you know what? They play the Rangers round 1. I would not be surprised if Tampa Bay wins that
No,
series.
no.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Wouldn't be either. I wouldn't be
I wouldn't be
surprised.
surprised. They're
Tampa
good,
Bay,
bro.
yeah, I think Tampa Bay's playoff pedigree, and I think Duclair all of a sudden like he's been added to that lineup, and he's just been
Oh,
stirred.
dude, he's a fantasy pickup, bro. I might have to pick
Yeah,
him
I
up,
know,
bro.
I know. No, but for real, like honestly, I don't see why. Like I don't see why the Tampa Bay can't fancy their chances in beating the Rangers. Like they just beat them yesterday. They were down 3-2 in the third period, and then they scored 4 unanswered goals. Like I think
Yeah,
I
third period was all theirs, bro.
yeah, I still think the Rangers win the playoff series, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Lightning pull it off in like a 7-game series. Like if it goes to
Well,
7,
I mean, they could play. They could play. It looks like they'll play the Rangers because Boston and Florida are Boston 3 points ahead of the Rangers, and Florida 4 points ahead of the Rangers. But you never know. You never know
yeah,
what can happen.
yeah,
But we're gonna eliminate Columbus, Ottawa, Montreal from the playoff contention. Pittsburgh. Do you think Pittsburgh could get in? They have 67
no,
points.
unless they get
Like
hot, bro. The goals are just not there. Like
they did win yesterday, but it was against the Sharks. So
yeah,
I
like
mean,
they scored
nothing.
5 against the Sharks. Like no, and
The
it's
Devils.
sad to see the Devils, bro. Stop, bro, don't
The
even talk
Devils,
about
they went into Dallas yesterday and they won like pretty convincingly
it. Yeah, like
6-2. Do you
6-2.
they
I
have
don't
a
even know
shot?
how.
68 points. They are 4 points back for the second wildcard spot. So it looks like all these I'd say New Jersey, Buffalo, Washington, Detroit, Islanders. Those are the guys. Those are the teams looking in for
Yeah, they're all
that
still
last
there.
wild card spot. But do you think the Devils can make it? They have a
No.
shot. They're not
Yeah,
out of the
they
water.
definitely do with Jack Hughes, and I just don't want the Devils to win, like to make it. And I think still without Dougie Hamilton on that back line, I just really don't see it on that first defensive pair. I really just don't see it happening. They just
Okay,
they
well,
just don't
what do you
score enough
think?
goals. The goaltending is not there, and they're just soft. Like they're just soft as a team. Like they're just getting
They don't have any like they have Curtis McDermott, but like bro, like
yeah.
he's kind of
Okay,
ass.
bro. Like come on.
Whatever.
Like come on.
Um, do you think now a team that has been struggling,
Yeah.
Detroit? I was on the Detroit hype train from
Yes,
the
you were,
beginning of the
bro.
dude. I thought they were playing good. They were in the hunt for the spot. They're still, I mean, they're in the hunt obviously now,
Yeah.
but the last 7 games, bro, the last 7 games have been brutal. They have
Oh,
lost all
7.
7 of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they collected a single point in them either. Like I think they just got they got beaten bad. Yeah. So they beat the Capitals the February 27th, 8-3. So it's looking pretty good. They just had Patrick Kane's like big night. They beat the Blues 6-1. They lose to the Islanders in a close game. Okay, whatever. They host the Panthers 4-0 loss. They go to Colorado 7-2 loss. They go to Arizona. They get shelled 4-0 against Vegas 5-3. So they put up a fight, and then they lose to the Sabres 7-3. And then it comes out that Sherratt and Lucas Raymond had a fight in practice,
Yeah. A
right?
couple days
So they
ago.
were going at it because frustrations are high. And in an emotional game at home against the Coyotes, they lose 4-1. So Detroit are on a 7-game losing streak. They have the same amount of points as the Islanders for the second wildcard spot. They've played a game more than the Islanders, but their point percentage is lower. Do Detroit pull it off, come back around? Now, this game tomorrow is going to be
Yes,
elite.
bro.
Tomorrow's game
Huge.
against the Sabres is going to determine it. Do you think
Huge.
Detroit will come back and make the playoffs?
How many points are they ahead?
The Islanders and Detroit are tied at 72. It's
Oh,
just they have Detroit has a lower points percentage. It's because the Islanders have 14 overtime losses. Like what? How does that make sense? But
I
do
think
you
I
think
think
Detroit can make the playoffs?
I think it's because how the Islanders have made the playoffs for the past like couple of years. I think they'll pull it off. Like I can again, I wouldn't be surprised if if the Red Wings hold it off and they make the playoffs, but I also wouldn't be surprised if the Islanders squeak in there, right? But I just think the way the Red Wings are playing, I just don't see them making the playoffs. Like this is a really important stretch in the season, and they really could have like led the way with that second wild card spot. Like this race could have been over. Like if they went on like a hot streak this time, like the race could have been done.
If they took like 4 out of 7, you know what I mean, or
Yeah,
three
like
out of
it would have
seven,
been over. But I think this
they could have
could be like a
been
really
sitting
bad.
at Tampa Bay's level.
Yeah, but I think this could be like a really bad mentally thing for the whole squad and be like, okay, we had a chance to pull away in this wild card race, and now we're not, and now we could by tomorrow they could not be in a playoff spot. Like they could literally be points behind by tomorrow. So I think I personally don't think they will make the playoffs now because of what has happened, but I wouldn't be shocked if they do make the playoffs. You know,
The Islanders lose yesterday to the hot Sabres, who now we're going to talk about. Buffalo, they could make the playoffs. Now, it'll be the first time they make playoffs in how many years? How many years has it been, Justin?
I think it's been like 10, 11.
I think 2011 or 2010 was the
Oh my,
last time they made playoffs. So it's
13.
been a long ass time since they made it. But they just shelled the Islanders in a very important playoff type of game. 4-0 or 3-0, whatever it was. And they sit 3 points back for the second wild card spot. They could make it, dude. They could make it right here, bro. This could be the team. They're
Ever
getting
since
hot at the right time.
Bro, ever since Bo Byram got there, they've been
Dude,
hot,
Bowen Byram has, bro, that
pretty
defense group is just nuts.
young and good. Like Power, Deline, Byram. It's like, bro,
Bro,
those
I
three.
could see them making the playoffs, bro. I can see it happening. Like this game tomorrow versus Detroit,
If
must
they
watch. What time's the game on tomorrow? What time's the game?
12:30.
12:30. It's an afternoon game. But Detroit also go to Pittsburgh the next day. So this weekend is going to be huge for Detroit here.
Massive.
this is massive, bro. This can like
Bro.
make or break this.
And Ukko Pekka Luukkonen, like, bro, he has like 25 wins on the season or something, and already has like 5 shutouts. Like, what is
Yeah,
happening?
I know, bro. He's been
Bro, the
good.
Sabres are flying. They're a young team, bro. They're flying right now. And I know they're in like our division, like the Leafs division, and Leaf Sabres are not really supposed to like each other. But bro, I really don't care, bro. Like,
You're a fan, eh? You like them.
bro. Shout out to Alex Tuck, bro. That's my G right there. Come on.
So
Like,
considering we think the Flyers, the Hurricanes, the Rangers, the Lightning, the Leafs, the Bruins, and the Panthers lock up those 7 seeds. Final prediction on who locks up wild card number 2.
um, bro, like, I don't see Detroit making it.
Okay.
I
So
don't
you
know,
don't see
bro.
Detroit.
It's a tough one because I just don't see like the Sabres like they could like just keep playing like this and just have nothing to lose. Like they could just have fun out there. And that's the best time. Like when you're just there playing and having fun. Because bro, you could just win the game like just by pure adrenaline and just having a good time. I think the
I'm looking
Islanders
at the
win. I think the Sabres lose. I think the Sabres miss out by like 2 points.
Yeah, they just like last year. I'm looking at their schedule. So they go to Detroit and then they're on their Western Canadian road trip as
Okay.
well. So they're gonna go to Seattle Monday, play the Canucks Tuesday, play the Oilers on Thursday, and then go to Calgary Saturday. So Detroit, they play the Penguins, the Blue Jackets, the Islanders. So they've got a nice little 2-game homestand before they were off to Nashville
Hmm.
and their little Eastern Conference road trip.
Yeah.
So you think Detroit misses?
Yeah.
You think Buffalo misses? So does that mean you taking Patrick Waugh's Islanders in that second wild card?
I think they make it, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Red Wings or the Sabres make it. But me personally, I think the Islanders will just squeak in there by like a point. So,
Okay, so I hate the Islanders, so I'm gonna
oh yeah,
say fuck the Islanders, and they're not gonna make it. They're not making the fucking playoffs. I don't give a shit. Fuck the Islanders. They're trash. Their entire franchise is a joke. Um, Detroit, I would love to see Detroit in the playoffs, bro.
yeah,
I would love to see it. It all starts tomorrow. If they can beat the Sabres tomorrow and go on some kind of streak, I think they got it.
mhm,
If they don't stop Buffalo, bro, it's done. They need tomorrow will determine if they make playoffs or not. And that's my opinion. Buffalo is gonna make it. Out of Buffalo or Detroit are gonna make the playoffs. The Islanders are gonna fall out.
yeah.
Tomorrow's game, the winner of tomorrow's game between Buffalo and Detroit will be the second wild card spot.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know
Okay,
who it'll be, but that's what I'm thinking right there.
bro. If the Red Wings win tomorrow, they go 5 points ahead of the Sabres, and that's like a massive like points total. Like with like what like 16 games to go. Like bro, that's like three
Yeah,
games
bro.
that the Sabres would have to make
Exactly.
up. And it's like, bro, Red Wing, and plus the Red Wings are at home, bro. Like they have to, like, bro, they have to get this done. Like
That's
at
what I'm saying.
home,
They have to get it
game
done. They have to get
against the Sabres. Like, come on, like they gotta get.
it's a
Bro,
playoff game right there.
yeah, dude. Plus 12:30 start time, bro. Afternoon game, bro. Bro, just
I'm gonna be watching.
bro.
I'm gonna be watching that game. That's gonna be big.
I'll be
But
watching,
well, the winner of that game will be the second wild card spot. Mark my
bro.
words. So let's move on to the Western Conference. I mean, I really care about the East more, honestly. The East is
Yeah.
just so interesting. But in the West, Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Edmonton, locks. Locks.
Oh yeah, lock.
Nashville, I might consider Nashville to be locks too. I mean, they're 7 points ahead of the Wild. And they're at 80 points. I think they're locks.
Yeah,
The team I didn't say, the LA Kings, because they're tied in for the third spot. It looks like with Vegas, but on points percentage they're ahead.
yeah,
But bro, I think bro, it's tough. It's tough because I don't know who's gonna play. It seems like Edmonton's locking up that second spot in the division.
yeah.
So they're either gonna play LA for a third fucking playoff series in a row, or they play Vegas, who they lost to last year, have everybody now back in their team. They got Hurdle, Hannafin, and Mantha. Hurdle hasn't played a game yet, but
Stone.
yesterday's game, they did lose to Calgary.
Yeah,
That was an important.
a really bad loss.
That was a tough loss. It
I
was
mean,
good for Calgary. I don't think the Calgary gets in.
no.
They're too far behind. They're 8 points behind Vegas. They're too far
Yeah,
behind, bro.
they're just not good enough. Like even though like the Wild get a huge win, dude. The Wild are all of a sudden rolling. tell you, ever since that win against Nashville, they've been just winning games.
They've
good
won
hockey.
3 games in a row. They've won 3 in a row.
They okay, and granted, it was the Ducks, but dude, those are the games that you have to win. And I think now they play the Blues tomorrow in St. Louis. Massive, massive game for both teams. That's gonna be
Massive.
insane.
That's a playoff game, bro.
The Blues play the Wild, I think Saturday, and then they play again next week. Those two
I'm looking
games,
at their schedule
bro.
now. They play they go to St. Louis tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then they're off to Anaheim, LA. Then they host the Blues and the Sharks.
Dude,
So
Blues
they
two
got a
times in the
dude, they
season,
got a
bro.
nice homestands, bro. The Wild could come back and
The
get
Wild,
that spot.
I was saying this on the last podcast. Like, dude, the Wild, ever since that win against Nashville, like they could really pick it up now and get some wins on the board. Like, because you can see,
They've got a 6 game homestand, bro.
and that's a
They
favorable
got a
home.
6 game.
That's a good homestand. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, bro. I've been trying to tell you, bro. Since that win against Nashville, bro, like you could just see, like the teams can like, ever since one win, that could really jumpstart something. Like, remember Nashville? Like they won like that
Do you
9-game
think
win
they,
streak.
I think it's over for the Blues too. I don't think the Blues make it. I think
Yeah.
the Wild are a better team. So the race is going to be between, it looks like Minnesota, Vegas, and LA, because I think Nashville's just running away with that first wildcard spot. So who takes the third spot in the Pacific and who gets the last wildcard spot?
I think. I think Vegas gets that third wild card spot. No, third wild card, third Pacific spot.
Third Pacific. So they play the Oilers. You think Vegas is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
play the Oilers?
I think so. And
And then it's between LA and Minnesota.
okay. Personally, I would like to see the Minnesota Wild in the playoffs other than the LA Kings. I just think the
Yeah.
Wild are just a much better fun hockey team to watch. Which is really weird because the past couple of years they really haven't been, and they've just been like this like defensive style hockey. But like now I just really like watching the Minnesota Wild. And who knows, like again, the Blues, if they win tomorrow, that's a huge win, and they're still in the playoff hunt. So
Yeah.
these two teams are still in there, like, and consider how the Wild are only like 4 points back out of this wild card picture. Like, they can still fancy their chances to be like, okay, we're only 4 points back out of okay, granted, the Vegas Golden Knights, but like they're still in there. Like again, a couple wins, losses go their way, and all of a sudden they're in a playoff spot. Like Nashville plays the Kraken tomorrow. Let's say hypothetically Nashville loses and then the Wild win. Boom, only 5 points back out of Nashville. So it's like, dude, these
Yeah,
are
bro.
like massive. Like,
Dude, we're
now.
getting to like the final big stretch of hockey here.
Yeah, like
But
the
bro,
whole big stretch.
the LA Kings, bro. The LA Kings were such a good team going like from October to like December, and then it's just fallen off.
I know.
I really, really do not want to see Edmonton LA 3. I don't want to see that again. For a third year in a row, bro, it's getting kind of stale. It's getting
Yeah.
very stale. I don't want to see that again. I don't think it's gonna happen again. Edmonton Vegas would be probably like
Insane.
the best
Probably
series.
the best matchup.
Could be the best series of the first round, or if not the entire playoffs. That'll go 7 games. But Minnesota is heating up at the right time. LA, not so much. I think did they lose to the Blues? They did lose to the Blues. So they lost an important game there. So I think Vegas will take the third spot. Does Minnesota overtake the Kings though? I don't think so, bro. I think LA is gonna realize that their playoff chances are like diminishing between their eyes, in front of their eyes, and I think they're gonna bounce back. Now I'm gonna look at their schedule here. I want to say they've got a decent schedule. They don't have to go East Coast, I don't think, the rest of the season. Or am I lying? No, they're playing. They only play Western Conference teams. They play the Blackhawks tonight.
Okay.
They go to Dallas tomorrow. Then they host the Blackhawks. They host the Wild. They host the Lightning. Then they're off to Canada again.
Okay.
So they're going to be playing their division rivals a lot. They play the Canucks, Flames twice. They play the Sharks and Ducks twice, I believe. And they have Tampa Bay. And they've got bro, and they've got Chicago, and they got Minnesota. So could they do it? Probably. I think they will. I think they're gonna lock up the second wildcard spot, and they're gonna play the Vancouver Canucks round 1, and the LA Kings are gonna beat the Vancouver Canucks in round 1.
I think the Kings would beat the Canucks.
Call it now.
Just not so
Want to
long.
call it now, so I'd be the first on it. The LA Kings will win, will get the second wildcard spot, and eliminate the Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
Bro, the Canucks. I'm not sold on the Canucks.
The Canucks may or may not be frauds, bro.
They are. They definitely are.
Like that's hot. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. But
don't
hot
try and tell
topic.
me
Hot
they're not,
topic.
bro. They are. They are. No
But
one's
I
sold
don't know,
on the
man.
Canucks. Like, I'm sorry, no one is sold on the Canucks. Like, bro, they just hooked the 3-0 lead to a tired Avalanche team, by the way, who played
Oh
literally
yeah, that was
the night
brutal.
before. So I mean, bro, and plus Thatcher Demko is injured. We don't know how he will be after his injury when he comes back. So I'm telling you right now, the Canucks are not it. They're not winning no cup. They're not making no Western Conference final.
Although
I hope
the Avs are humming right now. The Avs are on a 5-game win
no,
streak.
bro.
So
You don't win the cup, like it's over.
so yeah, we think yeah, LA gets that last wildcard spot. We still got a lot of time left. Pretty soon, we're gonna do our playoff previews. We're gonna make our brackets. I think we can make them
Yes.
live on the spot. And bro, it's coming soon. We're getting very close to the end here, finally, because this season it's been way too long. I'm just ready for some playoff hockey, bro.
Yeah, bro. Bro, I'm pumped. Like home stretch now. Like for every team in the hunt, bro. Like they gotta go get wins. Massive, massive, massive.
So
Let's
that game
go.
tomorrow, Detroit Buffalo, is definitely a must watch. Um,
Wild Blues.
who
That's a game.
Wild Blues is a big game too, because one of those teams is gonna try and make it. It's gonna be Minnesota, but the St. Louis could still try. I don't think they will. And LA, bro, they should win tonight against the Blackhawks. They should win.
Skin. Who
But
knows?
or should I say Connor Bedard? But like, Connor Bedard could just destroy the Kings. So a lot of important games coming up. And playoffs are en route. We're getting there shortly. And we're gonna have our playoff previews pretty soon, because within the next couple days or next week, I'm sure we're gonna start getting clinching scenarios here. We should at least.
Yeah, like the Panthers are gonna
Should get some.
any moment.
Panthers
Like,
are gonna clinch like any game now, right? So
any moment. Like Avs any moment. Like it's just a matter of time. But then once you see teams like when you see on Instagram, oh, Florida Panthers have clinched the playoff spot, it's like, okay, now we're getting into the
when I see the X, bro, then I know it's time to go.
Yeah.
But our playoff previews will come out within the next like 2 weeks, maybe a week or so.
Yeah. Once you find out everything.
We might be able to predict who's making it, but we don't know what's gonna
I
happen.
know. We just don't know.
We're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening, being listeners of the pod. We're on the come up. We're trying to get there. New logo, new brand. Shout out our producer Anthony Minicello. He's on he is now on the team. He's going to be editing our videos and helping us out. So shout out to him. He's also been active on our Twitter. So go follow our Twitter at the AJ Sports Podcast on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and follow us on YouTube. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Comment down below, who do you think is going to make the playoffs out of the wild card race in the Eastern Conference, Western Conference? Detroit, Buffalo, LA, Minnesota. Just comment down below who you guys think is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to add before we head off, Justin?
No, not really. It's just like hockey, bro. Now, bro, it's like so intense. Like I love this.
Like playoff hockey is the best kind of hockey you'll ever watch.
Bro, hockey right now is like the best sport. Like, let's go. Like, we're hyped.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Let's go. Other than that, nothing else. Nothing else really. But yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next week, and watch that playoff hockey this weekend. It's coming up. It's coming soon. Take care, guys.